Hello there, travelers, and welcome to our story. My name is Kieran, and I'm your guide to the world of Nazarim and many others, and we are back at the painting table. It's good to be consistent with the schedule for once. First time for everything. Anyway, yeah, we are back painting some Kill Team stuff. Made a fair bit of progress, actually, off stream. after stream on Sunday, I kind of kept painting and time got away from me. But we did get a lot accomplished. So, the team that you're seeing on the table, the Deathwatch kill team, is the only one I have left to do before I start making the battle reports. I do still have to paint up some terrain, so they have something pretty to fight on. But that'll be basically the focus of future streams once these guys are done. Yeah, so off stream I finished the new champion for the Gene Stealer cult list. So, yep, there we go. It turned out looking pretty okay if the camera wants to actually focus. Pretty happy with how this one turned out. And then I did kind of add a little extra to the Necrons, specifically their leader, the Chronomancer. So I added a little more jade here and there, just to kind of make them pop. So I'm pretty happy with how he turned out. I did the same thing with the Apprentice, his little staff. Yeah. So, Necrons are ready to go, Gene Stealer cult's ready to go, Chaos is ready to go. Just waiting on these guys now. So, where do we start? I think I'm finally gonna bite the bullet and do the step that I have been dreading, which is to kind of re-base coat their armor, which is unfortunate because I do so hate base coating, but it's got to be done. So, just, yeah. Paper towel. Okay. And we'll get underway. So, hopefully this will turn out okay. I historically am not great at painting black, because much like painting white, there's a lot of nuance to it, because if you look at something like in the real world that's black, it's never just, you know, pure black. It's, you know, black is kind of in a shade tone, and then it kind of builds up with layers of dark gray. So we're going to be trying, operative word trying, to do something similar. I think I'm probably going to try and edge highlight a little bit. We'll see how that works. I don't know. One way to find out. So, yeah, so I'm going to use this brush for starters. It's a decent base coat brush. My black paint. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so we're just going to be doing some pure black. And away we go. Once this is done, I have to think about whether I want to do that edge highlighting I talked about a second ago, or if I want to focus on the shoulder pads, which might be more fun. I'll think about it while I'm doing this. So, all right, so we will start with our Demolisher. And I don't have to cover every square inch, just any parts where I think it needs it. Basically anywhere that I accidentally got some silver on, or maybe the stone color from their base work. Just want to neaten that up a bit. I forgot there's still a leather step to do at some point. Do have some colors picked out for that, though. Got a lot of stone on his foot. Should probably put on some different music, huh? Okay, well. 1 second, please. Just let me know if it's too soft, too loud. That I wasn't supposed to on his chest piece. It's very close to that shoulder pad and the grenades and stuff. And some of what you currently see as silver, I probably will redo in gold. Give them some gold accents to make them pop a little bit. Black as well. Just leave that wire in the silver. The antennae. Hey Gomez, what you doing, buddy? I'm streaming, Gomez. I can't give you pets. I'm sorry. I'll give you pets afterward. No. Gomez is coming up to me. What are you doing? Mr. Gomez. Hello. I'm busy. Can take you later. He's looking at me like I can feel the wheels turning. It's like, oh, I wanna sit in that lap. No. It's the worst time for you to be doing that. Yeah. Readjust the camera a little bit. Require the scritches yeast. He is very sweet, but he's a very needy boy. There we go. I'm getting nuzzled against my will. Oh, goodness. There's a paw on my leg. He's got burned a little bit. No, no. Gomez. Oh, buddy. No. The wet palate is not for you to drink from. Gomez. Thinking about what I want the trim on the shoulder pads to be. So I think for this guy, he's one of the wolf spears. So I believe their armor is like whitish. So we'll do the trim of his shoulder pad in white. I just realized the operatives that I chose for this team, A lot of neutral colors, not a lot of, like, variation. A lot of black and white. What? Oh, Cyan, hello! Welcome! How's it going? Let me give you a little shout out. Hope you're doing well. For those new to the channel, hi, my name is Kieran, and I am your guide to the world of Nazarium and many others. I'm a fantasy/horror writer, model painter, and comfy specialist, and taking a field trip to a high school class. Yeah, I also happen to be a high school teacher. But yeah, we're doing some model painting tonight. We are working on these guys. This is a Deathwatch kill team for the game Kill Team. So we've previously painted a few others as my cats start fighting in the background. Come on, guys, get along. So some recent projects, I was working on the Gene Stealer Cultists, which, camera focus, please. Working on these guys the other day. Whoops. Quite happy with how he came out. And we also painted a Necron kill team. This is the Chronomancer in charge of them. Again, focus. Focus, please. So yeah. What I'm doing with these guys is I'm actually going to be filming a series of battle reports featuring them. Yeah. But I hope you're doing well. Hope you had fun playing some Minecraft. Travelers, if you enjoy comfy voices and wholesome vibes and all that good stuff, definitely give Cyan a follow. Some of you may remember a weekly series where we were part of a pirate crew together, and it was great chaotic fun. So yeah, we just started like 15 minutes ago, so yeah, nice and early. Just trying to relax a little bit after a long work day. That hand is not supposed to be black, I just realized. Should just stick to my pattern, start at the feet and work my way up. And if by a chance any of y'all are Warhammer fans, as it seems like more and more people in the VTubing world are becoming, thank you very much, Bricky. On Friday, so I am not merely a solo act. I am part of the VTuber team Vilesium with my friends Mama Maya and Teeny Nix. And on Friday, we are going to be doing a special stream where we play Space Marine 2. But specifically, we are going to be playing the game while also voicing our characters from our Crooked Moon campaign. Crooked Moon being like it's like a D&D variant in a folk horror universe. So that's going to be a lot of fun because our characters are really silly. My character is a somewhat grumpy scarecrow man named Lloyd. Maya's character is an imp-like bard with a New York accent. And Teeny will be playing as one of the NPCs because she is our dungeon master. So, actually, on that note, Lloyd is dad. Yes, I am the dad of the group. And what was I gonna say? Words. Oh yeah, Crooked Moon. Crooked Moon is actually tomorrow. We play on Wednesday nights, so very much looking forward to it. Wednesday is like one of my favorite days of the week now. We are currently in the midst of a swamp, looking for a sort of a gambling, hex-slinging ne'er-do-well. Doing the rebasing of this armor is actually really good at this stage because I did the eye lenses previously. Most of them, anyway. There's one step I haven't done on the eye lenses, which I'll have to take care of later. It's a very important step to make it look super realistic-ish. This guy's pretty neat looking. I know the Iron Hands don't really get a whole lot of love, but it is fun including this guy. The nice thing about the Deathwatch, this faction that I'm painting, is that they're kind of like a Space Marine all-star team, really. Like, no matter what Space Marine chapter you're from, you can have a term of service within the Deathwatch for a while. So you team up with other Space Marines from all different legions. So specifically in this team, we got this guy who's an Iron Hand, the Demolisher, the guy with the hammer, who is a Wolf Spear, like Viking-ish. Then we've got the Horde Slayer, who's like the big heavy dude with the giant gun. This guy. He is a Salamander, which are like the nice Space Marines. And there's the guy with a couple of knives here. He is a Blood Angel. And then this dude, the Blade Master, is a White Scar. Gonna paint my rats at some point. Yeah, Skaven are great. It's nice to be making progress with some painting projects. I do intend to kind of aggressively pursue the completion of projects from here on in as I work on my revised schedule and roll out new content and stuff. I'm gonna be trying to be a lot more active when I can, anyway. Teaching does keep me pretty busy. Especially this time of year. So apparently has some purple orcs, but no one has seen them exactly, because it's the sneakiest color. And or they're in the basement. Yeah, you see this step, like I said, is a little bit tedious going back over the armor plates like this, but it is necessary. I'm hoping that the highlighting step will be kind of fun-ish. I have done edge highlighting before on Space Marine armor with my Blood Ravens, but red is quite a bit easier to highlight than black. So, you'll probably see me paint Blood Ravens in the near future, because I do have 2 different kill teams that I intend to paint up in that color scheme. There's the Phobos Strike team and the Scouts. I would do the Angels of Death with that color scheme too, but I'm actually using those for something else. So the Angels of Death Space Marine team that came with the starter box, I am actually painting up for Mocha. So she wants to try salamanders. So that's what we're doing. Imagine, out of all the legions, she picked the salamanders. Go figure. Been branching into fantasy a bit lately, and knowing that 40k is a spin-off of fantasy, the parallels have noticed amusement. Yeah. Yeah, you know, dwarves are back in 40k. They've brought back the squats under a revised name. I'm still not sure of the entire lore behind them, but they look neat. I have a friend who wants to collect them. He's very interested in like Imperial and Imperial adjacent stuff. Whereas I am generally more focused toward Chaos. That actually does remind me, I posted some ideas on my Discord, but I'm trying to think of what teams to paint up next once I'm done with this little quartet. Because I do have a lot of kill teams that have accumulated over time, and I would love to paint more of them. Make like an expanded series of battle reports. For now, I'd probably be playing them solitaire, and just kind of focusing more on like the narrative behind the battles. But hopefully, over the coming months and probably within the next year, I will have a certain dragon that I can try to persuade to play with me. Excuse me. Probably gonna have to do some touch-ups with the silver later. And no, Pippa. I'm not giving you cuddles right now, I'm sorry. No, don't get away from my wet palette. These cats. Shh. Should I kick you all out of my room? Should I do that? This is like the warmest room in the house right now. I don't want to do that. It is very cold. It's just been bitterly cold this past week. Not fun when you have a broken furnace. I mean, well, technically the furnace itself isn't broken, but the piping needs to be fixed. And that can't really be fixed until what's in them melts. There's some frozen stuff in there that's causing problems. When I remember, it boils down to capitalist dwarves that clone themselves with computers that they upload the data of their ancestors to, but since they're clones, they're filling the computers with a ton of redundant data that's causing the computers to go screwy and eventually break in the future. That sounds about right. Nobody in 40k can have nice things. Except the orcs. The orcs are living their best life. They're about the only faction in all of 40k that is actually having fun. Okay. Should do. Actually, I was sharing a bit of 40k lore with one of my students today. They were waiting for their ride after school, so they came by my classroom for a bit, and we played some Magic. And I decided to try out the Tyrannid Commander deck up against their Fallout-themed deck, which is led by Dogmeat. And my god, the Tyrannids are frightening. Once you get some momentum going with them, they have quite the board presence. Although at one point my student did drop a nuke card that almost wiped everything on the board. That but delayed the inevitable. So, looking at the camera, the lighting's not super ideal. Lore accurate, yeah. I will say though, I am working in the background to get a better setup for painting streams, so you can expect to see that pretty soon. I just have to get a new desk built in the office, because there is a room that I was mostly just using for miscellaneous storage, just kind of piling random stuff in there, but I finally went in and cleared all that out, and I'm making like a nice little office space out of it. So I'm gonna put in a new desk there. I'll have room to set up some proper lights. So I do have a fair bit of paperwork to do this week, so that might delay things stream-wise. But possibly, question mark, this weekend? I should have time. As long as I can get my work done during the week. So, we'll look forward to that. And why does like every 40k faction have to be really cool? It's not fair. Can't collect all of them. Although I will say, Kill Team is a really great compromise for those who want to collect a bunch of different factions, but don't have the money to invest in full armies for all of them. So, because with Kill Team, basically just one box will give you a squad. And then you can just play that squad to your heart's content. Although certain kill teams don't have their own boxes, which is sad. But you can kind of put together a couple of kits to make them. And I am very excited about the set that's coming out in a couple of weeks. Yeah. The one that's got the Night Lord Raptors and the Sisters of Battle. I'm very excited to paint that stuff. I already have a paint scheme in mind for the Sisters. So, it's actually... it does involve pink, which is a hard color to paint because it doesn't cover super well. It kind of requires a lot of coats. That's why my Emperor's Children aren't done yet. Which, on that note, how come there isn't an Emperor's Children kill team? Slaanesh is the only Chaos God that is not suitably represented in kill team. Tisk. Because at least for Tzeentch, there's the Warp Coven. For Nurgle, we got the Plague Marines. And the Yellerpox Infected. And for Khorne, we have the Goremongers. They aren't Chaos Space Marines, but they're cultists devoted to Khorne. Slaanesh doesn't have anybody. Yeah, I feel like they will release one at some point, but I'm guessing... I don't know, this is just conjecture here, but because the Emperor's Children were released fairly recently, like within the last year, maybe they're just giving it a little time, giving some other factions some love first. I do appreciate that they gave the Night Lords quite a bit of love in Kill Team between this new Raptor squad and the Nemesis Claw. Because Night Lord stuff they look sick. And oh, the Iron Warrior stuff. Oh, I've been looking. I've been enjoying the teasers. We are eating well. If you're an Iron Warriors fan, which I certainly am. I love the Iron Warriors. I'm really hoping for Perturabo in Demon Prince form. That would be amazing. Hey Bobcat, how's it going? It's going pretty good here. We're just working on our Deathwatch squad, which is the last of the 4 kill teams that I need to paint for the battle reports. So, if I recall correctly, it was actually my travelers who voted to have Deathwatch be the final faction of the original 4. Because I had already decided that the Chaos Legionaries were going to be in there, because I just love Chaos. I love my word bearers. And then I think they voted specifically that Chaos should fight the Necrons. And then I decided on my own that I wanted to do the Genestealer Cultists, the Wormblade, because I just really love Genestealer Cults. So, and then I was just like, oh man, which Imperial faction should I do? So I put it to my community, and this is what they said. I was kind of hoping we'd get Demon Peter Turbo from the teaser of that one guy. Yeah, I know who you're talking about. I can't remember the name. But, I mean, that guy looks pretty sick, too. I will definitely pick his model up. Yeah, because someone pointed out there was another teaser of a boot that had like a claw kind of look to it, and people then did like a zoom in of the new guy and what his boot looks like, and it was not that. So there is another person they're releasing. There's another model that has that claw boot. And the fact that they're not telling us up front speaks volumes. I thought it might be. I know they're releasing new Mutilators models, which look sick. But I don't think it's them either. Red Corsairs look so good. Yeah, those models look really cool. I probably won't pick them up myself because I just never got attached to the Red Corsairs, but the models do look really good. I do have a plan in mind for the Salamander's skin tone, but I don't know if it's going to work. We'll see. Because they have like that kind of charcoal, ashy gray skin. I don't know. He's already got so many other neutral colors going on. I kind of wanted to try something different, so I will. And we'll see if it looks okay. If not, we can just go back to the gray. But yeah, I would definitely like to see an Emperor's Children kill team. That would be pretty neat. Like I don't know, like a Noise Marine based one of some kind, like just dudes with sonic weapons. That would be a pretty cool kill team. Or like Slaanesh cultists, kind of like the Goremongers, but for like sensory excess. It'd be cool. I can't remember what they were called, but in Warcry, it's like the Warhammer Fantasy version of Kill Team. There's a whole bunch of cultist factions that they released when the game first came out, because that's like when the game first came out, it was purely for like chaos factions, and then they threw in everyone else afterwards. There was a sect. I have the models for them actually somewhere. It was like these dudes who just like hack off parts of their own bodies and replace them with like metal limbs and claws and spikes and things. And they were devoted to Slaanesh. It would be really cool if they did like a 40k equivalent of them. I would 100% buy that. I'm gonna need to vibe for now before I have to do raid stuff. That's fair. Enjoy the vibing. Sealant, what are you doing? Oh wait. Get into my stuff. Don't flick your tail at me. Don't being sassy. Trying to figure out what the next 4 factions are going to be. I know I want to do the Eldar as one of them, the Blades of Cain. So I got a really fun squad put together for that. It's led by a Striking Scorpion Exarch, couple of Howling Banshees in there, a couple other Striking Scorpions, a few Dire Avengers for some cover fire. I think that could be a pretty cool team. And a lot of color variation too, so they'd be interesting to look at. So I am going to go mostly with the traditional Aspect Warrior color schemes, but then I will add some turquoise and black highlights because they'll be from my own custom craft world. Chooses that color scheme. Okay. I think a little bit on that leg. Okay. So I think with that, the black base coat is good to go. So I think before I get to the edge highlighting, I'm gonna do, excuse me, I'll hiccup first, and then I will do, I think, the shoulder pads, because that would be fun. So let's start with the White Scar. So he's got some stuff going on. So that shoulder pad's going to be white, and the symbol is going to be yellow and red. So for the yellow bit, we're going to use some lantern yellow, which is the same one we used for the Gene Stealer cultists. This might take a few coats. And looking at the others, none of the others use yellow, so I'm going to need a small brush for this. More. So just doing that interior part of the lightning bolt symbol, and the border and the lightning bolt itself are going to be red. That's going to need a couple of coats to really pop. And once we get the symbol done, then we can do the rest of the shoulder pad. So with the salamander, we've already base coated that symbol in white, but we will need to do the rim of the shoulder pad in green. The Blood Angel, we already base coated and washed the wings. So we'll have to do next after the gold that surrounds the blood drop, and then finally the blood drop itself. The Iron Hand guy, we're just gonna highlight white a little bit and then give probably a silver rim to the shoulder pad. And then for the Wolf Spear, that's gonna be a white rim. So pretty simple, pretty straightforward. One more yellow layer should do it. Yeah, looks pretty good. When that dries, we'll give it a little bit of a wash with some sepia. That on hand. In the meantime, let's do the green. So we'll do that with some forest green. It's the same green I'm using for the salamander kill team that I'm going to be painting. Oh. Green on the palette, way wall's a bit messy. Song cut off kind of suddenly. Oh. Okay. And this green over black doesn't cover super well, so I'll have to make a couple of passes here. If we get some green inside the shoulder pad, that's okay, because that's supposed to be black. I can just go back over it. I want to be as precise as possible. I thought it was really good, honestly. There's a bit of gravitas to it, honestly. I mean, if you want like a full like teacher critique, I'm happy to do that. I just need time. But it's very clearly something you're invested in, and that's awesome. Go. It's not really showing up well on camera, but that's okay. It's going to be brighter. Maybe it turned out with how little time I spent on it. That's awesome, because like you put the thing down, which is the most important part. That's the hardest part, is getting it out of your brain and onto paper or the screen. And I mean, now you just have it in front of you, so you can look back over it and make adjustments if you need to, tweak things here and there. Like, which can be tedious, I will say, from experience, but that's when you like you take this lump of creativity and really shape it into something. For the iron hand shoulder pad, I think we're gonna do cold iron. Some different punctuation / grammar definitely can be better. Yeah, that's fair. That's just like the little stuff you catch on subsequent passes. I wouldn't sweat it too much this early. Like, I'm still looking at the God of Mice and finding things that I can tweak. I wrote that thing a couple years ago. blood engine. We need some scorched metal. Just a teensy little bit. That's probably more than I needed. Go. And then the wolf spear, we need some weathered snow. Struggle a bit with world building, but smaller scale character stuff is where I shine, especially when it comes to creating characters for D&D. That is awesome. Like that's kind of me too. I'm much more of a character focused writer, and like through their actions is my world formed. I just kind of create the basis for them and then let them loose as they play about on their stage. I'm semi-regretting putting the backpacks on. I'm not gonna lie. They're definitely getting in the way. Oops. Coming up with names? Oh yeah, that can be tricky. Honestly, I swear by babynames.com. I'm fairly certain that's where I came up with Lloyd's first name. It's been a while. It's been about a year now, actually. But I'm pretty sure that's what I did. Had kind of an idea in mind for his character, and so I was like, what name reflects that? And I found Lloyd. And obviously his last name I got from Dracula. Okay. So there's a decent base code for him. Alright, I think that's that step for everyone. Just got to apply some wash. At least to the Blood Angel and the White Scar. I don't think the others need it. Okay. We'll brighten that up quite a bit once that dries. And for the Blood Angel, we need some brown wash, some Agrex Earthshade. Not very much, just a teeny little bit. To D&D, I just hit up the fantasy name generator for whatever species I'm thinking. Oh yeah. I used to use, was it the Barrow Downs, which is a Lord of the Rings website, to come up with orc names. That's actually how I came up with one of my best NPCs ever, Ishku the Terrible. He was a recurring villain who later became an ally. He was kind of a comic relief. Turned out he had like a big soft spot for animals. And legends say he was so dumb he didn't realize that he could die, so he was effectively immortal. So anytime they killed him, he would usually just like come back in a hilarious way. That was a fun campaign. Right, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use some of this weathered stone that's here with my tiny brush. I'm gonna start brightening up the white bits. Like this wolf head here. Woo. And we'll brighten this up quite a bit, because eventually this is gonna, it'll have highlights of pure white in it, which is very, very bright. 40k orc rules, kind of. Yeah, but it was back before I even knew about 40k. If there was such a time. Was I ever that young? I think probably the the best Ishku return was I forget how they, oh, that's right. They ended up like arranging it so that Ishku ran into this massive demon, and the demon just like picked him up and just like hucked him off into the horizon. And they're like, well, guess that's the end of him. And then it was like months later in real time we were on like a completely different leg of the adventure, and they were on this distant island that was like kind of Asian themed, like feudal Japan. And there was a clan of Nezumi, rat people, who had recently become like emboldened and started attacking human settlements, claiming that they were being led by one of their gods. And so the players were like, whoa, this is pretty heavy stuff. And then they heard the rumor like, oh yeah, the Nezumi said that their god just like fell down from the sky. And then one of the guys in the group was like, wait, where did Ishku land? So yeah, turned out he landed like right smack in the middle of their village. Such a fun time. Yeah, I really missed DMing, so I was quite happy when we started doing the Dark Heresy. Although I was very nervous, because I hadn't DM'd in a hot minute. And I had never actually DM'd online before. So, it was a new experience for me. I'm glad the players had fun. And I hope they're looking forward to the next chapter. Whenever that gets going. Okay. Okay, so that's all the white touch-ups that I need for now. What next? Guess I could do the red on the white scar. So I think for a base coat on that, I'm going to go with some Asmodeus red. There we go. Okay. Let's see. All right, so I think we can brighten that yellow up a little bit. I'm trolling my DMs at the moment. Might layer one more candlelit yellow on top of that. Love doing that, it's so much fun. Yeah! Honestly, that's how our friendship started. I know the story has been told, but like... I initially met her because I was friends with Teeny first. And then... then I saw Maya start popping up on the timeline, and I checked out her streams, so I was like, oh, she's really cool and funny. So I reached out to her and convinced her to play Power Wash Simulator with me. And we were both like kind of awkward about it at first, and then I was just like, hey, by the way, do you know that you can like shoot people with water in this game? And she was like, oh, I didn't know that. And like as she was saying that, I was already like unloading on her and like pushing her back. I think that was the moment we both knew, like, yeah, this friendship is working out. Fun times. It's always a fun time with those two. Go. Yellow's all brightened up. Now let's brighten up the red. And for that, I think we're going to use a little bit of blood red. If you don't know Kieran before playing with him, you're able to learn very quickly what he does best. You mean be wholesome and sweet? That is my brand. It's respect for doing the symbols freehand. I mean, it is, in fairness, the symbols are sculpted onto the shoulder pad. You can see. But yeah. I'm usually not that good at freehanding. The only exception is, I wish I had it handy. There's an orc banner that I did for Lord of the Rings, one of my Mordor orcs. I freehanded the design on that after like looking at the one on the website, and so I like tried to replicate that, and it turned out really good. do that when you're not playing games with people. Aw. No, I'm sweet all the time. I just like playing games with people and making sure they have fun. And oh my god. I don't think we were streaming it, but I wish we were. When my Antini got me to play FF14 and I made Lloyd, Maya met up with me in Limsa Luminsa, and she was like trying to give me some gear, like stuff to help me out, and I was just like jumping and running around the city, like trying to run away from her. She's like, I swear to Christ, Kieran, come back, get the fuck back here. I was just giggling. Ugh. It's fun. It's just ironic that I'm the oldest member of Elysium. You would not think it based on behavior sometimes. There we go. Red's brightened up a little bit. Still gonna add one more highlight. Oh, missed a little bit of that corner. Okay, that should be alright. Gotta get some kill team minis. Yeah! And some spearhead for AOS while I'm in it. Yeah. So, what kill team are you looking at? People I usually hang around with, I act the oldest by being the youngest. Although there was that one time in Mocha's Minecraft server when she discovered your house. Which I thought was very tastefully decorated. She seemed to find it weird for some reason. I think that's when she and I were like just starting to be a thing again. That was her idea of flirting with me, is inviting me to her Minecraft server. Sisters of Battle for my sister and Night Lords for me. Oh, nice! Yeah, getting the new set? That would be pretty awesome. I didn't realize that the lake was man-made. Yeah, one of my IRL buddies is really into the Sisters of Battle. That's like the primary army he collects. They are a nightmare to fight. And I didn't realize he would be playing Sisters the last time I fought them, because the previous few games he had been playing the Orcs. So I brought a Chaos army that was like half cultists. And I don't know if you know this, but running a blob of cultists into a firing line of Sisters of Battle wielding flamethrowers generally not a great idea. Yeah, the Raptors do look awesome. Those models look so good. I really like the one, I can't remember the name of it, but it's the dude, he's got like a chainsword polearm. It looks so good. One of the Nemesis Claw guys has that same weapon. I have that model somewhere around here. Started that server, I started a jailbreak because the way Mocha said it, everyone was locked in spawn. I managed to escape and make boats for everyone. That's awesome. So let's keep going with the white highlights, I guess. Actually, you know what? We have the reds out right now. Why don't we really quick finish the gold? So let's get some Valorous gold. If we're quick enough, we should be able to do this lickety split. Ah, my eyes. Eyes are acting up a little bit because I didn't get much sleep. Hence my starting stream early so I can get to bed in a decent hour. Okay. Let's see. And then we'll try a bit of the Kalishite gold. I've never used this before. Minecraft servers, I may not end up being the most active. I tend to be the person to go to if you need to figure something out. That's fair. So I want to get the rest of the Demon Primarchs for my general collection. Yes, the Fulgrim model is great. He's the only one I have. No, yeah, the Demon Primarchs look great. I really like their design. I do definitely want to get Mortarion, maybe Magnus. I'm not as big an Angrod fan. I may end up getting him at some point, just for the heck of it. But yeah, of the 4 Chaos Gods, Khorne is probably my least favorite, which that might be a hot take. I don't know. It's just not as complicated, and I don't know. I like a little more than just death, kill, slaughter. Nothing wrong with it, but I mean, in real life there is, but okay. There we go. All right, let's do these reds real quick. Trying to leave enough of the gold. Say maybe a hot take because the discourse between Demon Fulgrim and Horus Heresy versus 40k. Yeah. Oh, that's another project I gotta do, the Horus Heresy stuff. Because I did get a couple of sets for that I need to paint up. Specifically, I wanted to make a little Horus Heresy army, Iron Warriors. Because I think that would be a pretty good legion to go with. There we go. Okay. So the red's all set on all the shoulder pads, so let's brighten up that white a little bit. Do I have any Misty Gray handy? I think I put that back in the box. Digging ASMR sounds. Disturbed by the noises. Got it. Misty Gray. And this. Just gonna feather a little bit around these edges. And if we need to touch up any of the black, it's actually still wet on the wet palette. God, this wet palette was such a nice investment. If y'all are into mini painting, I highly recommend one. If you've got a few extra bucks. Excuse me. Hey, what's up, Ike? How you doing, buddy? So many cats. Iron hand. Just focusing mostly on the fingies. Salamander. Like, what are you doing? interested in my wet palette too? Are you all taking turns? Okay, and the wolf sphere. Paint's a little wet. Like, down here. Come on. You silly goose. Ike, get away from the wet palette. It's not for you. You have a water bowl. Do it for the Misty Gray. So I think that pretty much just leaves the pure white. If I wanted to do another color, I probably could. I don't want to go that nuts with it. Yeah, we'll just go straight to pure white. Okay, so. Ideally, we're not going to use very much of this at all. Let's get my chair nice and close. There we go. There we go. Blood Angel. There we go. And finally, the white scar. What is this? Okay. I do actually have a white scar set sitting around waiting to be built. I love their lore. I think if I was going to build a loyalist faction for like Horus Heresy or something, it would definitely be White Scars. But I'm kind of interested in at least doing like a combat patrol match with them. I think that would be pretty fun. All right. There we go. So the only thing left to do for the shoulder pads is for these two. The Iron Hand previously did Cold Iron. Now we're gonna bring it up a little bit. Let's I think some Crusader Silver should do it. Yeah, nice bright silver. And then up a little bit more with a little bit of Shining Mithril. If I had to choose some of the Horus Heresy Primarch minis, I'd probably go with the Khan, Robledorn, and Sanguinius. Ooh, yeah, Sanguinius would be a fun project. You catch me saying something different on a different day. That's where I'm at. Yeah. I would do Alfarius as well. I do like the Alpha Legion a lot. Ooh, that Shining Mithril is very bright. That's like almost white. Pretty sparing with this. Still looks a little uneven. I do kind of blame that backpack for being in the way. Okay. Okay. There's the Iron Hand. And it just leaves the rim on the Salamander. So we are going to use a bit of grass green. First would be fun because I'd be painting myself as a mini. We are all Alfarius. I will say, the Alpha Legion was horribly misrepresented in the Dawn of War games. I don't know why they went with the Alpha Legion for the enemy in those. Or in the original Dawn of War, the original campaign in that, and then in Soulstorm. Which, oh my god, that was not the Alpha Legion in Soulstorm. Not even remotely. Like, the Chaos Lord was just this bloodthirsty butcher devoted to Khorne. It should have been World Eaters. But nope. I think the only Dawn of War game, at least of the original Dawn of War, first one, where they actually seem to have done their research as far as Chaos, is when they had the Word Bearers in Dark Crusade. That's actually the game that made me really like the Word Bearers. And I discovered that right around the time I started collecting the minis. So. Hence, my first painting project was to attempt to paint Word Bearers. And I knew so little about painting that I failed horribly, but I learned. I'm quite happy with my technique for painting Word Bearers now. With the line showing up in Dawn of War 4. That will be interesting. I will say that. I do like the Dark Angels a lot. Their lore is pretty darn cool. Okay, so last up for the Salamander shoulder pad, we're going to be using some Jade Green. Yeah, I'd be interested to see how the lion interacts with the Blood Ravens of all legions. I mean, if the Dark Angels are already suspicious of everyone and everything, well, Blood Ravens are pretty sus themselves. That's why I like them so much. That's why that's the Space Marine Legion I collect. Can I collect? Blah. I even have the old the four-drilled model of Gabriel Angelos. Okay. Red is the imposter. Now they've got the lion son of the forest. It's going to be quite interesting to see how they utilize the lion, given that he has the forest walking thing in 40k. Ooh. Reminds me of that one meme. I'm pretty sure I have it saved somewhere. Ooh. All right. So, with that, the shoulder pads on these guys are all done. Doesn't look half bad. There is a lot of black and white among them, but there's enough variation that it looks pretty interesting. I think my next step, and I think we'll call it after that, is some gold accents. I think I'll save the edge highlighting on the armor. I think I will save that for my next painting session. First, I think I need to refresh my wet palette a little bit. Yeah, it's thirsty. Thirsty sponge goon. So, oh, we have some squished metal on the palette already. And it is still fairly wet. Okay. there's a number of things. First of all, any bolter rounds that I see, like here. Give them little, like, brass casings. Those are scorched metal. The inquisitorial seals, I think I will do in gold. So anywhere I see that eye. This little accent on their elbows. And the skull with it. On their shoulder pad, that is the Inquisition seal, so... Okay. And I think that's about it. As far as the gold. It's a fair amount of leather I'm gonna have to go back and do at some point. Tech Marine Space Marine 2 is pretty cool though. Looking forward to that. So interested to find out what Chaos Legion they're gonna make the Chaos side of it. Yeah, I mean, as far as I understand it right now, the starting 4 factions are going to be Space Marines, Orcs, Necrons, and Adeptus Mechanicus. So as far as I know, Chaos isn't involved yet, which was the case with Dawn of War 2. Because with Dawn of War 2, it was just Space Marines, Orcs, Eldar, and Tyranids. Chaos didn't come in until the first expansion. So I'm wondering if they're going to do something like that, where like at the end of the campaign, we'll have a little Chaos teaser. God, Dawn of War 3, God bless it. They never even got to introduce Chaos as a faction. Like, I think the boss was a Chaos Demon, but then they never really did anything with it. The game itself was pretty subpar. It's like they tried to make a MOBA out of it, kind of. Like a one-player MOBA, and it just, I don't know. It was not my cup of tea. Space Marine 2. Did I say Space Marine 2? I mean Dawn of War 2. My bad. I have Space Marine 2 on the brain because of Friday's collab. I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be so much fun. Okay. Oops. Bit of touch-up to do on this leg. Okay. make the bits of his sword gold. He's a white scar. I can see him being a little ostentatious. Doing the blade of this sword is going to be its own session, I think. These Necron-style weapons I'm not very good at, I've discovered. I'll try to get better at it. Yeah, when I start misquoting like 40k stuff, that's when you know I'm tired. Be like if Mocha and I had kids and I called them by the wrong name. Okay. That's all the gold for him. How about you, sir? Think your parcel's here? Ooh. Nice. Excuse me. Demolisher. Not a lot of gold on his. That's yellow. That's not gold. Actually, it is gold, but not the gold I wanted. Get it off, get it off. There we go. Yes, I want to continue watching. It's not very much gold on this guy. Not normally, anyway. Oh, there's that one. It's like a rosary. Let's make that gold. I think that's it for him. Alright, Alright, I think I have time to do, like, one more thing. So I think Gomez, you're in the way. It's like standing right on top of the paint that I needed. I think this wolf spear needs a little bit more color, so we are gonna base coat his hair. And we are gonna make him a ginger. So, using some auburn shadow. Quite a bit of facial hair too, and some mutton chops going on. He's very Viking looking. No mustache though. It's just the beard. Like, give some real bushy eyebrows. Yeah. Probably need another coat. So our white scar. His hair's gonna be black, so I'm just gonna go over that again. What I'll probably do is actually the bit that's like tying the ponytail up is a little top knot. I'll probably make that red. Go. I'm back. That's the thing I got on Kickstarter for my sister for Grimbus. Aww. Nice. We are just doing a little bit of hair detail. And then we're probably going to call it after that. Like, out of my stuff, please. Thank you. Cats have been very needy lately. It's because it's so cold. And I run warm, so guess who they cling to? And then I wake up in the middle of the night and they can't move because they're pinning the blanket down all around me. Ugh. Problem children. Okay. Just back over the eyebrows. Oh, right. What color do I want the Blood Angel's hair to be? Probably brown. I'm thinking. Gomez. Go away. Come to you later. Not now. The muddy brown would probably be a good one. Get around to the salamander skin. Just keep finding excuses to keep going. Oh, I'm gonna go to bed early today and get a good night's sleep. Lying to myself. Go. Alright, do I have time? Last time, but it's okay, we're fine. So, go Meth, get out of your way, please. Oh my god. What did I do with the color that I need? There it is. Alright, so I mentioned, so the salamanders have like this dark gray, charcoal, ashy looking skin. I did see somewhere, someone painted it, it's almost like a bluish purplish tinge to it, and it looked really good. I'm gonna try the Dark Elf skin trio and see how it looks. It's got like a purplish tinge to it. But it's like a grayish purple. It's not gonna really show up at all on this first layer. It's so close to black. At least we can take care of any red that we got on the skin. I just realized only one of these guys is actually wearing a helmet. Yeah, I had just unhelmeted heads for most of this set. There were 10 Deathwatch guys that came with this kit. Oh. I think I've just about reached the end of the playlist too, so this is probably a good time to stop. It's trying to tell me. Okay. Yeah, we'll brighten that up quite a bit with highlights. All right, so we actually got a goodly amount done today. So the shoulder pads are all done. The gold accents have been base coated. The armor has been touched up, so it's all nice and black again. So from here, I'll finish the gold accents, finish the skin and hair, then do the leather, and probably... Oh, and some of them have lights on their shoulders. I think all of them do, actually. So I'll have to do those. There's actually quite a bit left on these guys. There's a deceptive amount of detail, despite Space Marines in general being pretty simple. Yeah, so we'll call it here, though. And we will look around for someone to raid. Okay, we got some options. Quite a few options, actually. So what I think I'm gonna do. This could be fun. Let's see how long they've been streaming for. I've been at for a few hours, but they usually stream for a pretty goodly time. So let's go visit my friend Gabby. She's great. I like Gabby a lot, and she's playing some Dead by Daylight. So that is her go-to game. So there's your raid message. All right, so tomorrow I will be live again, but not here. I will be live over on Teeny's channel for some Crooked Moon. So if you want to see an angry pumpkin man on a single-minded hunt for a ne'er-do-well, definitely come by and see. It's a great adventure. It's so much fun. I love this. I love that project. And then Friday, remember, Friday is a very special collab. Maya, Teeny, and myself will all be joining forces for some Space Marine 2 as our Crooked Moon characters. So a very special Elysium collab event. Alright, I'm gonna type in this raid. Ba-boom. Off we go. Alright, that does it for me, guys. See you tomorrow over on Teeny's channel. In the meantime, be good out there, be kind, and I will see you in the next chapter. Bye for now, travelers.